Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video we are checking out the season 5 changes for Rainbow Mika. Mika was actually my first main in Street Fighter 5 and she is a character that I like a lot. And one of the characters that I was most worried about coming into the VShift meta, right? So let's check out what actually changed with Mika and if Capcom adjusted her enough to compensate for how much the V-Shift would impact the character. So the first change that Mika got was a change to her standing medium kick. This is now -2 on block instead of -3. This is a nice buff, I think, because this move was used a lot on meaties. Of course in the neutral it helps, like obviously it helps in the neutral, but you could use this attack on meaties. For example, you knock your opponent, dash up, and you are gonna be -2 now, because this used to cover both knockdowns, so you could do that, and now you are getting to cover both knockdowns and remaining safe, right? Because this used to be -3 on a quick rise, and now you are +1 on a back rise, so that's really nice, right? So this is a nice quality of life change. Of course, on this very particular attack, if your opponent happened to get hit on wake up, on quick rise you get a standing medium punch, and on a normal rise you get to combo a target combo here, right? So this was one of her... Mika was actually one of the few characters in the game who can meet pose rises with one single attack, so this is a nice change. I mean, it's welcome to finally make it safe, right? The other change is to her crouching medium kick. So basically this have one more active frame and one less frame of recovery, so this is a better poke, right? Does this mean much? I mean, not really. From some range like here you might be able to get EX speech, right? So this being a good poke is decent. Of course you get that on counter hit only. If you land it from far range, EX speech doesn't connect. So from maximum range EX speech doesn't combo, but from a little bit around here you should be able to still get EX speech to land as a counter hit combo. So that is a nice change, right? The other one she got is to her dive bomb, and I honestly I don't understand this. Like, who actually had issues punishing this attack? This is already -9 or -10 on tall characters, could be up to -12 actually on really tall characters. So I'm not sure why did they actually improve the hurt box during recovery. Now it's even easier to punish, as if it wasn't easy enough as it is. So this is even more unsafe now, which is whatever. You already died on block from this anyways, so it's not a big deal. Just a weird change. The upcoming one is actually a very big change. That's actually a really nice buff. EX Wingless Airplane is now invincible to mid-air attacks from frame 1. Mika's EX Wingless was a decent anti-air, but it was slow, right? It wasn't anti-airing from frame 1. Now this is like a proper DP. For example, if Urian is doing his thing here, from the first frame I will be able to anti-air him. So that is really good buff to her neutral, and it's a really good buff to her anti-air game. Now you will be able to anti-air stuff like Kami's dive kick, Urian knees, all of that stuff. The EX Wingless will be a much more reliable anti-air at dealing with them, right? So that is a very good buff. The other change she got is actually a really nice one. I actually like it a lot. After the mic buff, so Mika's VSkill 1 gives her command grab a damage buff, right? So now, for example, a command grab, usually her light typhoon does 180 damage, right? After a mic buff, it does a about 20% increased damage, so it does 216. So that is what it usually does, right? What they did is that now, after the mic buff, you can actually combo into the command grabs. So you can do something like that, right? You can combo into it. This actually is a really nice change, and it's very good for low confirms especially. So for example, usually from lights, from low, Mika will get something like that, right? Which is a nice, that is 106 damage. You could do EX Speech, and that is doing 150 damage, but the Oki on EX Speech isn't that fantastic. But what Mika now gets is from lights, you can combo into EX Typhoon, And this will do a lot more damage actually than the regular beach. Now we are doing 225, so this is a damage buff to Mika, of course. Even if you happen to land like a stun combo or something, you can now combo into EX Typhoon, which does really good damage now. Like this is 1 bar, like 1 bar stun combo or something, and you are dealing 400 damage. Really nice buff. It's always welcome, of course. That is pretty good buff. I like it. It's a very creative idea to buff the microphone. And of course, you can combo like into EX Brimstone for better Oki. Nice buff. Especially, I feel like especially in the corner now, we are gonna be doing a lot of that. Like if I'm in the corner now with Mika, I'm gonna be doing that now just to get enhanced Oki and still get really good damage. Very good change. The other change now is to her VSkill 2. So Mika had a notoriously bad VSkill 2, right? Her VSkill 2 is a berry, but it's a berry that only berries physical attacks, and it doesn't berry EX moves, and it doesn't berry projectiles, it doesn't berry anything almost. So what they did now is that when you parry with it, you get the command grab buffs. It is the command grab buffs pretty much. So let's check it out again. Now Urian is gonna jump at us. So now when Mika does, oh my goodness. So now when we do that and we get the same berry now, okay, now we have the berry, our command grabs will do the enhanced damage. So this is a pretty nice change, I'll say. Will it make this berry better? No, honestly, I'm not sure because it is a really risky attack to do to begin with, so this is not very fantastic. The final changes they did for Mika have to do with her V reversal. Now it leaves her closer to her opponent. Mika actually had one of the better V reversals in the game, but you're still not in throw range anyways, so it's not a big deal. It's a slight nerf, but you know, it is what it is. Overall, Mika got actually buffed, but we have to talk about the elephant in the room with Mika, because when we're talking about a command grab character, we are talking about how negatively will the V-Shift mechanic hurt them. And with Mika, it's a lot to go on. So for example, let's check out like a wake up scenario with Mika. You used to do something like a Brimstone, dash up and try to throw. The issue with this now is that she doesn't get much here. Your opponent pretty much get away for free. Even if he does the lights, of course, they get the escape. After the Brimstone and a dash, they get to escape. What you can do now is just an EX speech, which is really unfortunate. Like you have to chase them with an EX speech, and when you do that, you're pretty much spending 1 bar and you don't get that good of an Oki anyways. So this is very effective versus Mika. If you're doing a beach knockdown, you can get a heavy bunch. So on beach you get a heavy bunch. So on the beach knockdown is not effective that badly, but the Brimstone is a lot worse. Honestly, being +7 now from this range for someone like Mika, that really sucks. There is literally zero reason not to do that versus Mika, because she will have to do EX speech and you're out pretty much. So that kinda sucks. This almost killed her pressure mid-screen after command grabs. And the other issue of course with Mika have to do with the corner. Mika is a character who have to rely on the Mika vortex in the corner pretty much is doing a lot of that into like resets, right? If you ever play Mika, we are doing a lot of these. This is pretty much the Mika, right? But VShift totally ruins all of that because your opponent doesn't have to do a directional input. They can just spam the VShift. So you will try to do stuff like that. Your opponent can... I want to time it right so you can see what I mean. Yeah. Like, even if I cross dub or not, your opponent can pretty much get away with this. So you will have to guess a lot more with Mika on offense. So that really sucks. It helps her a little bit on the defensive side of things, but I'm not really sure how much it will help. One good thing that comes out of it though is that it will improve her pressure game. If your opponent try to V reversal, for example, So let's now return it to mid screen. Let's say for some reason your opponent tried to V-reversal versus Mika. You now get to punish them, right? So you have an offensive option select to punish your opponent. So I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. I don't think Mika herself got nerfed that hard, but the mechanic, man, the V-shift mechanic is super hurtful to grapplers in general. So I'm not sure if Mika could actually survive this. I don't want to say it, but I do think it looks kind of bleak for Mika at the moment. I'm honestly worried that this character, and I don't want to say this because it's super hard to tell, but I am legitimately considering that Mika might be the worst character in the game. Sucks. It honestly sucks, but you know, I don't know. Anyways, if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. It helps the channel so much. Sorry if you're a Mika player and this isn't the news that you wanted to hear, but it is what it is. And yeah, I'm annoyed myself at it, to be honest, because I really like this character, but what you gonna do about it? Anyways, check out the Patreon and the Discord link in the description. Thank you very much for watching and stay safe.